Hi students and my dear friends. So this is chapter 1 geography class 10 resources and development. So we'll see what are the important points in this chapter. First, this chapter is all about resources and how resources are getting developed. First thing what you have to keep in mind, what is resource? Classification of resources, development of resources, resources planning and subdivisions are planning in India, how resources are being planned in India. Next, how resources are being conserved. Next, land resources. So we know land is a resource. So land utilization, how land has been utilized. Next thing, land use pattern in India. Land degradation and conservation, soils in India, types of soils, soil erosion and conservation. So these are the most important points that you have to keep in mind before getting into this chapter. So we'll see. First thing, what is a resource? Resources, all things that satisfy human needs are resources. It can be of technology that is accessible or economically feasible and culturally acceptable, all termed as resources. Next thing, how human beings are interdependent with resources. For example, when you are thirsty, you need a water. So how a water becomes a resource? When you are thirsty, that during that situation you need a water to satisfy or you need water to stop feeling thirsty. So water becomes a resource there. So how you get a water? For example, when you're traveling, you cannot go fetch a water from a pond or from the tap. So you will be getting or carrying all along the way a water bottle. So that water bottle has all angles of this physical environment. A water has been taken from nature. Next, technology, it has been packed, and institution, it has been sold out. So all three things are interdependent for satisfying your need. So now resources are classified. How resources are classified? They are classified into two types. One is natural and human made. Natural are classified into different classes like renewable and non-renewable. Renewable are continuous and biological. What is continuous? Continuous is like when you use a resource, you get again and again. So it is a free flow of resources. For example, solar energy, sunlight, water, air, everything comes under continuous or flow. Next is biological. What is biological? It is nothing, natural vegetation and wildlife. Next thing is non-renewable. Non-renewable is classified into two types. One is recyclable and non-recyclable. Recyclables and metals. For example, what is recyclable? Recycling is the thing which is used as resource and again it is used as resource in some other way. Non-recyclable, non-recyclable is nothing like fossil and fuels. Okay, once you use it, you cannot use it again. The second major classification is human made. What is human made? Nothing, it is nothing but human made resources are infrastructures and example buildings, schools, hotels, the house which you live, everything. Next is quantity and quality. Okay, how it has been made, in what quality it has been made. So this is what quantity and quality. So here human beings themselves are a great resource. Okay, how they become a resource? They are skillful, they are talented, they get education. So these things make them to become a resource. So how they are, how they get resource? Like for example, they obtain a material and they transform it and they use it in some other way. So they use their talent, they use their skill, they use their hard work, everything, and they become a very big resource. So resources are classified into types of like basics of origin. Origin means where they are been or they are obtained from. One is biotic and abiotic. What is biotic? It is obviously living things. Abiotic is non living things. Next is on the basics of exhaustibility. What is exhaustibility? Means how they exhaust, okay, how long they are used as a resource, okay. And exhaustibility has classified as subdivisions like renewable and non-renewable. Renewable, as I said before, which can be rebrought again and which can be taken again, and non-renewable is nothing like they cannot be taken back, okay. Examples are minerals, fossil fuels, and many things are there, okay. Next is on the basics of ownership. Here you have to keep in mind everything. The main thing is everything comes under major concept is everything belongs to national and international ownership. And the first thing is on the basics of ownership, on the basics of individual. So what is individual resource? So when a person owns a vehicle, or when a person owns a hotel, when a person owns a like house, so everything comes under individual ownership. So he himself is a owner there. So the thing which belongs to him, it depends only and individual only resource. Next thing is so community owned resource. What is community owned resource? Nothing but when a resource is being used by group of people or it is being kept for common use, okay, it is community owned resource. For example, theaters, shopping malls, and ground, playing grounds, even burial grounds, everything comes under this concept. Next thing, national resource. As I said before, everything comes under national resource. Whatever it is inside the country, okay, everything comes under national resource. It is not for an individual, it is not for the use of government, it is not used for the individual family. So it is national resource. Whatever that comes into our country like India, everything is national resource. What is international resource? It is not a very big thing, the difference between national and international, okay. International is we live in land and land is covered by water, so all the place is covered by water. So when some ship is sailing into the sea or ocean, we government has fixed a thing like 200 nautical miles. What is this 200 nautical miles? Okay, the boundary around the country, that is between or inside this 200 nautical miles, when we travel, we belong to the nation, or the sea or the ocean that it is inside the 200 nautical miles comes under the national resource. But once you move out from the 200 nautical miles, it is international resource. So when a ship is sailing or when a ship is about around more than out of 200 nautical miles, no one can stop them or ask questions, nothing they can do, because it comes under international resource. No one has the power to ask them, okay. This is what international resources. Okay, next on the basics of status and development, potential resource and developed resource. What is potential resource? Potential resource is nothing when you have a resource and it is not used or you don't know how to use, you keep it aside, okay. So it comes under the concept called potential resource. Next is developed resource which are being developed and they are using to its maximum limits. Next is stock. Everyone knows what is stock. Stock is the thing which you have extra in hand, in terms what we used to tell like extra or more than what we need, or stock. So we save it for the future purpose, it is called stock. Next thing, reserves which can be put into use with the help of existing technical know-how, but their use has not been started, so we keep it aside till the use of a matter comes to hand. For example, water in a dam, we store it for the future purpose. And next, forest areas we used to save animals, trees, everything, so we keep it aside, we are saving it for the future purpose, so it comes under resources are getting developed. Resources means, as I said before, for human satisfaction, whatever the things we use are called resources. But here resources are not for single purpose, like not for a single man's use. Okay, it is for everyone, it is for everyone's need. Okay, everyone should not be greedy that it depends only to a single person, it is not like that. Okay, then accumulation and resources in few hands, it means like, for example, we keep it as money. When you think money, you can fix in your mind like money is not in everyone's hand. Okay, the whole world is divided into two sectors. One is people having and people do not have. So what they are having and what they do not have, it is nothing but resources, properties, money, liquid cash, hard cash, everything. Okay, so people have and people do not have. So on the basics of having and do not have estimates their richness and poverty. Okay, so this is what they exclaim here. And next thing is resource planning in India. How we plan the resource management? First thing, resources are found in many places. In your previous classes you might have come across everything. So resources are not only found in a particular place, many resources are found in many places. Okay, in India many states are there, resources are available and they are not being utilized or they are not being balanced. Okay, so India is taking some initiatives to balance the situation, where gold is being obtained and where coal is being taken. Both the minerals are not taken from the same place, we know everything, right? So once we get gold from Karnataka, we are not using only in Karnataka, we are using everywhere. Okay, so people, they travel from one place to another, transformation of minerals from one place to another, so balancing the situation. Okay, so India is having many plans related to that. Resource planning in India, identification and inventory of resources across the region in the country. So in India, first the country identifies where the minerals available, where the resources are available. Next thing, evolving planning structure, they start or initiate a planning structure to promote the resource. Next thing, matching the resource development. So our government has an idea how to use the resource, so according with that they go with the resource planning method. Next, conservation of resources. So what is conservation? We all know what is conservation. In simple term, we can tell it as, we can how to save a resource. Okay, conservation and saving. So how resources can be conserved? First thing, people should not be greedy. The main thing is we should not be greedy. So how we can conserve? We should conserve by using what we need, limitation in uses. Okay, this is the main thing you should keep in mind. Do not overuse the resource. For example, lavishly using the water. When we feel thirsty, we should drink only what amount of water or what quantity of water we need. Once we are using for taking bath, we can use a bucket and a cup for taking bath. Once we open the tap, keep running, the water keeps running and keeps going, it is getting wasted. Okay, so this is overusing, so we should limit our uses. Next thing, stop overusing. Third thing, uses of resources should be balanced. Okay, it should be balanced. A well-known person of everyone, Mahatma Gandhi, has quoted in his sayings that there is enough for everybody's needs and not for anybody's greed. What he says from this: the world is blessed with all resources for all human beings, not for single person. This is what he explains. Next thing is the major thing, land resources. So land is the major thing what we need to survive. So the basic needs of human being is food, shelter and clothing. All these things are obtained from land. So we'll see how land has been used. So land, we know all our whole world is covered with water, and land, we do not have much land for this present situation. Okay, land utilization, we know that 27% only we have land. Okay, what are the land utilization? First thing, forest. Forests are the main resource of wildlife. So we know forest is the main resource of rain. We should conserve the forest. So everywhere government is saying that 33% of their land must be given to forest and forest conservation. Okay. Next thing, land not available for cultivation. So land using pattern, we are going through land utilization. First thing, forest. Second thing, land not available for cultivation. Example, barren and wasteland, which is kept for many years, like grounds, wastelands. Okay, it belongs to a person, but it will not be utilized for cultivation. Land put not to agriculture uses. Example, roads, buildings and factories. Land used for buildings, land used for factories. Okay, these are the things. And other thing is uncultivated land, permanent pastures and grazing lands, which is meant for grazing for the cattle. Land under miscellaneous tree crops. Next, the third thing is cultural wastes land, left uncultivated, for like we use the land for garbages, we use the land for like the factory wastages, for storing those things. Okay, so this comes under this. Next is fallow lands. Fallow lands, like agricultural land which has been kept uncultivated for certain periods, like 1 to 5 years or 1 year or even 6 months or 3 months, whatever it is a cultivable land or it is a cultivation land. Agriculture takes place there, but lands will not be used for certain period. There might be some reason behind that, we'll see later. Next is net zone area. Net zone area is nothing but agricultural land. Okay, what we get through agriculture. So in India, we'll see what is the land pattern used. Okay, India is all about land, which has the total area of 3.28 million square kilometer. In that, only 93% comes under survived area. Okay, so many of these boundaries, many of these lands are not been survived because of the topography or because of the situation prevailing there. Many things comes under this. Okay, we'll see land is a major resource for human beings, and even land is getting degraded, and we shall see how we can conserve this land. How land gets degraded? First thing, deforestation is the main reason for land degradation. Overgrazing, mining, quarrying. Okay, all these contributes to the highly risky factors for land degradation. Okay, next thing is over irrigation is also another major responsible of land degradation. How over irrigation comes a factor of land degradation? Over irrigation lets the soil to lose its capacity of holding a place or holding a plant or holding a tree, whatever it is. Okay, we make the soil to get eroded from place to place. Okay, and the soil loses its fertility, increase in salinity and alkalinity in the soil, so that soil becomes unfit for cultivation. Next thing, soil as resource. We know soil, land is made up of soil. So soil as resource. Soil is the main important factor of agriculture. Okay, soil is most important renewable natural resource. It is renewable natural resource. We'll see soil profile. Topsoil, the upper soil is on the topsoil, which has a content of manure, moisture, and everything. Okay, it has been made up of manure, natural manure, or the fallen leaves, or the silt of sand, everything. Okay, next is subsoil and weathered rock and the silt clay, and followed by substratum, weathered parent rock material. What is the substratum weathered parent rock material? It is nothing but the parent bedrock has a vibration, has a movement, and those tiny particles formed as a substratum weathered parent rock material. And the last layer is unweathered parent bed rocks, which is being made of huge rocks and huge stones under the ground. It is deep inside the land. Okay, we'll see what are the classification of soils. Alluvial soil, which is highly encouraging resource for agriculture. Next is black soil, which has been mostly found on the arid regions. Red and yellow soil, lateral soil, and arid soil, and forest soil. These are the classifications in soils. You might have come across the soil types in your previous classes. So here we'll see what is soil erosion. Soil erosions are nothing but the taken away materials of soil by factors affecting this soil, like deforestation is also one of the causes. Next, overgrazing, constructions, and mining, all these comes under the big risky factors of soil erosion. Next, with this soil erosion, what takes place? With the soil erosion, you cannot plan for a fixed or a plan for a strong basement of anything, including agriculture or constructing a building, whatever it is. Okay, so soil erosion will stop all your dreams. Next thing, through the soil erosion, this gully erosion takes place. What is this gully erosion? The topsoil has been taken from the water from one place to another place, and the basement of this soil will be totally eroded, and there will not be any strong basement for them. Next is conservation of soil. How soil can be conserved? In maximum in agricultural field, soil will be conserved by planting intercrop method. Next thing is shelter beds. What are the shelter beds? You might have come across the shelter beds in class 9. Planting of trees to stop the wind flow into this land, which the crops cannot be disturbed. This is what shelter beds. And other things, afforestation, planting many trees and many grasses, where you can see the erosion cannot be taken place. So in this chapter, students, we have come across what is resource, what are the development can be taken, and what are the development already government is planning for. And we have seen what is planning, what is land resource, and what is the degradation of land, and how land can be conserved, and what is soil, and how soil can be conserved. So today, as of, just take points, go through the lesson, and make use of your time. Thank you, students.